up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey, to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. We start off in Marlo's lot. We know that Marlo is getting a house built in DeKalb County. It seems like the girls are busting her balls because they say she's not live. Why isn't she living in Buckhead? She says she's not living in Buckhead because she is not rich and she cannot afford it. Y'all be the ones saying I'm rich. Kenya was like, no, we don't. No, we don't. That's you. That comes out of your mouth. That's the shit that comes out of your mouth. She starts trying to get fly with Kenya. Kenya was like, girl, don't try with me. I'm just saying what you say. This is what you say. They showed a clip from the Archives event where she was like, I may not know how to pronounce things, but I know how to dress and I know fashion and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So, and I know money. What she say? I don't know about money. So, honestly, Atlanta isn't as affordable as it used to be, 10 years ago. It's not, even though a large amount of the population is still living in poverty, the housing, it's about to look like Los Angeles in a heartbeat. It's about to look like Los Angeles in a heartbeat. It's about to be a lot of people out there unable to afford the cost of living. And we know how we are as a people. We're very flamboyant, very flashy, very look what I have, even though I may not have anything, but look what I have. And so I think that's going to be a real detriment in the metropolis known as Atlanta when it comes to living beyond your means, looking like you have some sort of wealth when you really don't. Because it's saying the way that the poverty is set up in Atlanta, it doesn't look like the people are really living this Black Hollywood lifestyle. It's a small percentage of people down there like that. But again, you wouldn't know because Black folks are not going to let you know that they are not able to afford things. They're going to do whatever they need to do to look like they can, and it's just a mentality. It's just a mentality. So either you grow out of it or you don't. But you are the one bragging all the time that you got all this money. And she was like, well, y'all always, I think it's kind of messed up that y'all are always asking me where I get my money. I think the one that does it the most, and it's really annoying, and I can tell you right now, Kandi, that it's annoying how much she tries to figure out how much Marlo has spent or where Marlo is making her money. It's annoying. It's also equally annoying that Kandi won't let go of this idea that she's some fucking freak. Y'all, everything that it's like, it doesn't match. I don't know. It doesn't match. I'm sorry. Y'all are not going to convince me that Sugar Mama is hanging upside down in a tree house with her legs to the moon. I don't believe it. I believe that Kandi lays there or gives orders or is a voyeur. That's the extent of her freakiness. And this character of this part of her character that she seems to be trying to hold on to with the remote panties. Why are we giving out remote panties? If I don't want a dildo in my ass, is that okay? What did Nene say to Kandi? If I don't want a dildo up my ass, I don't want a dildo up my ass. Is that okay? That's so late to me. I'm sorry, y'all Kandi fans out there. That Kandi is a super freak. That shit is so fucking late to me. It is so late. Her and Todd go for a walk. Oh, they talked about Marlo's house, the lot, the closets, the bedroom. She has a very small bedroom in comparison to all her closets. When they go to New York, are you going to see Mark? She said, absolutely not. I'll have the nanny drop the baby off. Are you going to see Tyrone? We know that Tyrone is not going to show up. He's on house arrest. And I don't know at 50 something years old, Sheree, that you should be having a conversation with your girlfriends about whether or not this man can ask another man if he can go to another state. I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed. Oh God. You too old for that. You are too old to be like, well, I'm gonna see if he can get if he can if he can get permission from his PO. Not at 50. Not at 50. Not at 50. Not at 50, ladies. Not at 50. Not at 50. Not at 50. I'll give you some grace earlier than that, but bitch, you over the hill, ain't no way in the world you should be, oh, I don't know if he could ask his PO. No. No. Anyways, Kandi, they talked a little bit about Drew. Drew wants drama. How does she want drama when she has problems with her husband? She has enough drama with him. She is a deflector and an overtalker. That's what they were saying. Kandi is walking in the neighborhood with Todd. They probably ain't never walked in that neighborhood before. But anyways, they walking in the neighborhood. Todd is saying he doesn't get enough support. Kandi is saying, oh, I know how it is. And then Kandi starts laughing. And he's like, what are you laughing for? And she was like, I just crack myself up sometimes. And he was like, I can tell. I mean, you know what I always say, and I'm just going to speak plainly. Kandi is a Taurus. Tauruses are very big on security. Kandi is probably a woman whose identity needs to be tethered to a man. And so, like a lot of black women, they go out and find men that are on paper beneath them. I'm sorry to say it like that. Like I said, I'm just going to speak plainly. I think that Kandi and Todd represent a larger group of black women who are high achievers, high earners, and who go and find men for the security of it. Because knowing that the man doesn't have as much as you, the likelihood of him going away or leaving that cushioned life is slim to none. So you have security in him staying. So you go out and you find a man who is beneath you. A lot of black women do that. For a lot of women, for what I could see, Kandi is secure in Todd. Todd has the ideas. Todd is also comfortable with this woman taking care of him. She's the breadwinner. What Kandi and Todd have going on, a lot of black women are having the same experience. Anyway, she doesn't want to swing by the crib. She doesn't want to swing by the New Jersey crib because she doesn't feel like she has anything to say about it. Her name isn't on it. Another thing about Kandi and other Tauruses, if things are not going their way, they are going to make it hard for everybody around them. They are going to make the environment uncomfortable if they don't get their way. And part of getting their way is being uncompromising. She's not going to compromise with Todd. I agree with the women. As soon as you gut everything out, this place is going to look entirely different. There won't be any remnants of another woman. I do give Kandi props for not putting Todd's name on the house. No, you don't get your name on this house. I had that experience. I bought a house, was with the boy's father, but I wouldn't put his name on my house because I moved to Atlanta not to meet a man and have 2 children. I moved to Atlanta to buy a house, and that's what I did. So I wasn't as stupid as I was in the relationship. I knew good and goddamn well I wasn't going to put a motherfucker's name on my goddamn house. But as a result of that, with an immature man, you get a man who says, because my name is not on this house, anything that needs fixing on this house, you got to fix it. That's what I was told. Because his name wasn't on the house. Even if it was down to putting a washer on the fucking faucet, you either do it yourself or call somebody else because my name is not on this house. So I'm not going to fix anything in this house. That's what I got. But again, I had no qualms. I didn't feel bad or no regrets about not putting a motherfucker's name on my shit. right? You can be dumb in love all you want to, but when it comes down to this paperwork and legally binding yourself to people through paperwork and shit, Erica doesn't play those games. And neither should you, bitch. And neither should you. Basically, Kandi says, when I go to New York, I want to relax. I don't want to go to a house that I'm going to have to clean when I'm done. You don't have to clean it when you're done, Kandi. You are very rich. You can hire, I know your ass is cheap as fuck, but you can hire a housekeeping service to clean your place when you guys leave. So you go into a house and have a space to live in. You can hire a driver to drive you from New Jersey to New York, whatever. But Todd's thing is we should have a place. Or, Todd, what you might want to do is make it into an Airbnb. Fuck Kandi. Fuck Kandi. Kandi's name is not on it. Make that shit into an Airbnb and get you your money. Period. All that other shit, girl, I ain't got it. If it doesn't go her way, she's gonna make it hell. I already know that. Drew, I'm not sure why Drew has so many assistants. I really want this to be Drew's last season. I do. I really do. I really want Drew and Ralph to take their weird ass relationship to Love and Marriage Atlanta. Carlos, please. I think every episode I'm going to send a plea out to Carlos King to take this reject and make a show for her like you did the other one. Dr. Ken, he shows up. Ralph is sleeping in the kids' room. We need to talk through our issues. We had dinner. I wanted to make her feel like a queen. How did you feel? What did you feel in return? I don't have any respect. I don't have any appreciation. It's all about stuff. She deserved a Lunchable. She deflated the night. Well, how can we start off anew when we have unresolved issues? The bliss isn't real. You need to take ownership of your behavior. And then he said something about calling him a maniac. Oh, I knew that was going to come up. He said, Dr. Ken said, how about this? When y'all are arguing, don't bring me in your shit. Don't bring me. And see, that's what a lot of people do is say, well, the psychologist said that you were like this, so clearly you're like that. And then you use that and weaponize that against the person. People do it all the time. But Dr. Ken told them just right. The next time y'all get into a tussle, leave my ass out of it. Don't talk about Dr. Ken, okay? This is your marriage. You got to go 30 days not attacking each other, no yelling, no attacking. And then if one person breaks it, the other person has to be their slave for 24 hours. Come up with something better. There has to be other things better than that. How about a divorce? Anyways, Kenya, Sonia, and Drew, they get their invites from Patrick and Safari. Again, this freak shit makes no sense to me. I'm over it. Anyway, how about a playbill? Exactly. I don't want to see pasties and these people walking down like it looks ridiculous. Safari looked ridiculous. Patrick looked ridiculous. The gifts were ridiculous. It would be different if the play was about something related to this, but you just giving out vibrating panties just because you want everybody to think you a fucking freak. Girl, hang it up flat screen. Nobody believes it. You flat screen like you be laying in the bed flat like a starfish while Todd does whatever he needs to do and masturbates with your body, and then you sitting over there eating chicken wings while he's hitting it from the back. That's how as freaky as Kandi gets in the bed. You know, stains of hot wing sauce on the sheets. That's what you're gonna get. Kenya calls Sheree. I don't know what that's about. My thing is shopping. Her thing is sex. Oh, that's what she was saying about Kandi. That's what Marlo was saying about Kandi. My thing is shopping. Her thing is sex. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, Kandi gets a sprinter for everybody because they're going off to New York and she doesn't want anybody to be late. Kenya said she didn't know this was a couples trip. You and Sheree are couples because neither one of y'all have men, and that's okay. I'm sure that your edges are intact, your finances are intact, and you could sleep well. Don't worry about it. All them bitches sitting over there, they got issues. We don't know about Ross and Sonia yet, but the other two on the end, don't worry. They coupled up, but Sit down, girl. Marlo comes through. Marlo ain't got a man either. She fine with it. She said, I'm going to stay single. I know that's right. Because it's less of a headache to deal with somebody like that. If you look at the men, look at them. They all got something different that's like, ugh. Like, ugh. We don't know Ross yet. We ain't gotten to your shit yet. I was looking at Ross. He's cute. He reminds me of Lance Goss. Is that his name? That's who he reminds me of. Didn't he used to mess with Eva? Lance Goss, right? The brown skinned dude. You know what I'm talking about? That's who Ross reminds me of. Anyways, at first I thought it was him. I was like, he looks familiar. But then I was like, that's not Lance Goss. That's Ross. Anyway, so they get to that's what Marlo said. Who's gonna be roaming around? Who said we're gonna be roaming around the streets of New York with vibrating panties on? Right. So they drive by the New Jersey condo. They get to the hotel first. Oh yeah, they get to the hotel first. Everybody's eating. They're eating the food. Everybody's good. Tyrone is gonna have the remote to the remote panties. Kandi says there's a competition to get the suite on the penthouse floor, the suite B, and Kandi tells, not Kandi, Kenya tells this wild ass story about having sex around coyotes. I don't know what the fuck she was talking about. You saw how y'all saw how Ralph was lying? That's how you could tell. You got to watch people. You got to watch people and catch them off guard and watch them. Just sit back and watch Ralph. You watch how he lied. And they couldn't get the lie together. And then I don't know why Marlo thinks that Ralph and Drew have this sex life. I find Ralph extremely unattractive. Ugh. When I look at him, I be like, ugh. I don't see what y'all see in Ralph. He is not attractive to me. He looks like a little beady-eyed used car salesman. That's what he looks like to me. Who wears polyester suits with elbow pads on them. That's how he reminds me. He does. Okay, what happened? So they go to Sonya's getting her makeup done. She's having questions about Drew's behavior. She doesn't know if she can rock with that shit. The way that Drew acted with Sheree at the tea party was real ugly. All the hands in the face. If your assistant is messy, are you messy too? Marlo says that Kandi might need therapy with this sex thing. Everything is sex, 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 sex. Like I said, she's trying to convince somebody. She ain't convinced me. She might have convinced y'all, but Kandi has not convinced me. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you now, that is a starfish. That's a starfish, y'all. That is a pillow princess starfish. Okay. Kandi for her bedroom, Kandi, she needs to make TV trays for the bed for her next bedroom Kandi toy. TV trays so you can eat in the bed. Cause that's so nasty. They get to the New York or New Jersey condo. They said Marvin is acting like a college student. Marvin, he's in New York telling bitches his name is Marvin. Kandi says she does have some insecurities when he goes out. I'm trying to tell you, she likes Todd to be at home, daddy daycare, so she knows where he is. That's the security. That's why you go find a man who is comfortable resting where Todd is. Comfortable resting there. That works out for Kandi. That's an investment that is not going to leave. He has great ideas. I have the money to back it. He's never going to make more than me. He's never going to be more accomplished than me. He's comfortable right there. I get a little insecure when he goes out and hits the streets with the allowance that I gave him last week. The security for that Taurus comes from Todd being daddy daycare. Yeah. It's always on your terms. Live in his world a little bit. Big things don't always include Todd. Kenya says y'all got to work on that. He's spoiled, or she's spoiled. Kandi is spoiled. Everything I do, and that's what a lot of people say, like when you hear women talk about athletes, the wives talk about athletes, they say they're not used to Robin Dixon is perfect. She says that Juan is used to people treating him a certain way as a basketball player, everything being centered around him, everything for him. I feel like Kandi is the same way. Kandi, with all her humility and everything, Kandi wants to get her way. And if she doesn't get her way, she's going to bitch a fit. Look at Teresa Giudice. If they don't get their way, it's going to be hell for everybody around. Everybody's going to be miserable until they're made whole again. Trust me. Everything I do, it helps everything. Everything I do, what I'm doing for this family helps everything. That's not what he's talking about, Kandi. But again, Kandi got with Todd because the security of Todd never, ever out achieving her is 100%. It's a comfortable position for her. A very secure position for her to get a man who is never going to achieve as much as her. I'm sorry. That's just what I see. Keep the condo. Kenya had on her hard hat, honey. She's going through the condo, knocking out walls, putting in sliding doors. I'm not cheap, honey. When Marlo said, if y'all don't get that bootleg contractor out of here, what is that bootleg contractor doing up there? That was funny. Who gave Kenya that hammer? That's what I want to know. She was like, I'm just going to go through and start knocking down stuff. Where did you get that hammer from? And that damn hard hat. So stupid. Why would I want to be here? That's what Kandi said. Why would I want to be here? It can be a gym. That's what they're all saying. So anyways, they get to dinner. Kandi and Drew, they don't have their rings on. Kandi don't really wear her ring. Drew says she stopped wearing it. The marriage, when she gained weight from her pregnancies, and then the marriage wasn't in a good place, so she never put her ring on. They showed a montage of her never having on her ring. Let me tell you something. I want everybody to understand. Pay attention. I can have a ring on every fucking finger, okay, that a man bought me to say 1 year of marriage, 2 years of marriage, 5 years, 10 years, 11 years, 25 years, 50 years, 75 years, 100 years of marriage. I can have a ring on every fucking finger. And if I wanted to fuck niggas outside of my marriage, I will. The ring don't mean a thing. Kim told y'all that already, okay? The ring don't mean a thing. So Ralph can wear a ring. Todd can wear a ring. The ring ain't around the penis. Okay? The ring is around the finger. Okay? The ring don't mean a thing. It don't. Marriage counseling. What happened with the assistant? Why you didn't fire her? I haven't really got over it. When are you going to get over it? When can we get past it? They said time and reassuring behavior. This is what Kenya is saying. Kenya is triggered because Ralph reminds her of Mark. Every time I see Mark, I want to pull his trachea out of his throat. That's how I feel when I see Mark. I'm triggered by Mark. Mark to me is the epitome of a clinical diagnosis of a gaslighter, a narcissist. Everything that you see outlined in that book, that is what Mark embodies to me. That's why I don't understand how the fuck Kenya got, every time I think about that, how the fuck she got wrapped up in a motherfucker like that. He is the epitome, textbook, clinical definition. That's a man who is unsuitable for partnership. He needs to remain alone for the rest of his days and hope his daughter takes care of him when he can't breathe no more. Ralph reminded Kenya of the way that Mark is. You talk all that shit, you doing that gaslighting. I'm so glad they made a montage of Mark's behavior. And then Ralph sitting over there with his little beady eyes squinting at Kenya, and then he starts laughing. Don't do that. What are you doing that for? Answer the question. Everything that you're doing is, and it's so weird because they think that nobody can tell what they're doing. That is the reason why they don't want to fuck with women who have met men like them. They got to go to younger women because they haven't met a man with this personality before. Because you see all the women at the table were like, what you doing is out of order. This is what he says. Things can look crazy if you don't understand the context. And then I said, however, Ralph will never explain context behind anything he's saying. And that will leave you room to assume what he's talking about. And then when you assume and say what you think he's talking about, he's going to say, no, that's not what I'm talking about. You don't understand what I'm talking about. He will never give you context, so you will always be confused. Period. Whatever you assume, he will say that you're wrong, so you'll never really understand context because he will never provide it to you. That is what I put. Kenya, you said you sound like Mark. You see someone who's really hurt. Ralph says, I didn't go and get an assistant and say that I went and got an assistant with a big butt. Todd is looking like, girl, this is a mess. If you're in a bad place, why in the fuck would you go get a woman? And I don't understand why you can't get a man to be an assistant. I don't get that. I don't get why men can't get other men to be their assistants. There are men who are great at supporting, people, important people, or people who are very busy. I don't understand that. Marlo and Kenya are on the other end of the table calling Ralph an asshole. He's an asshole. I hear the way he talks to her. He is an asshole. He does all that gaslighting. It occurs to her one way and it occurs to me another way. Yes, that way that you can tell her what's occurring in her reality is not occurring. And you can tell her what is occurring is something that you've lied and made up. Nothing to do with that. And that gets you on a carousel being spun one way and then the other way. This is why, for me, being in a relationship with men who relate to women like that, and a lot of them relate to women like that, even the way that Ralph was communicating with Kenya, so where he didn't even want to finish or answer her question and then started laughing and then tried to deflect to Todd. Don't do that. What you're doing, don't do that. Don't do that to me. I'm not doing anything to you. Yes, you are. That's why, see, I couldn't, and like Kenya said, I've been and flipped this table over because you get upset because somebody is insulting your intelligence and they are literally standing in their shit in a lie and telling you that what you just experienced is not what you're experiencing. You're tearing her down. Ralph starts laughing. What's the laugh for, Ralph? Don't do that to me. He's only doing what you allow. This is what Marlo says to Drew. He's only doing what you allow. And then Kenya says, you behave the same way. I think we've all said that the way that Drew relates to the women is the way that Ralph relates to her. She is using the tactics that she's learned from him on other people. She does. Kenya said, Drew acts like Ralph. Drew says, well, I'm the type that won't start none, won't be none. Sheree says, I'm the same way. So what else is going on? Shout out to Cynthia Bailey. What else is going on? I'm the same way, bitch. It was your assistant who started the rumor. It was your assistant. Well, I don't have any evidence. Sheree said, hold on here. Let me show you. So here's a picture of Drew and somebody else. And he says, this is Drew's husband, Ralph, and somebody else. This was after he told me you was gay. Ralph said, what? Said what? After he said you was gay. Ralph gave him back the phone and said, nah, man. Like, nah. So that's it. So you believe, so if you want to throw what the assistant is saying, oh, I don't pay the assistant, the same assistant is saying that your husband is gay. I don't have any evidence. Here we go right here. What else do you need, bitch? Todd was like, exactly. Exactly. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Y'all let me know what you think about the episode. Take care of each other. Peace.